Hi everyone, Vickie here. I'm going to try something different because I'm doing a lot of readings, and I do the past life readings like this with a just a tablet, and I can leave the camera set up like this. I don't have to take the camera off the boom and go set it up on the tripod. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to just try it this way for this time, and so you guys have to let me know if you think it's okay, and then I may just continue with it like this. So we're going to look at the new moon. The time got away from me. I'm getting late posting this. It's November 29th, 2016, and it's a new moon in Sagittarius. 7:18 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary. So it's a new moon in Sagittarius. You know, we have this, the sun and the moon conjunct at 7 degrees. And with Juno, it's conjunct Juno. So that's kind of nice. I mean, Juno's the goddess of love and beauty. Very similar, the queen of the gods. Very similar energy to Venus. In Sagittarius, they're all three at 7 degrees here. They're all three conjunct here at 7 degrees. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is higher learning. It's the 9th house, Sagittarius. I don't have the thing over here. I'll have to maybe see if I can set it up like this if I stay with this format. But anyway, so Sagittarius, 9th house, Jupiter. It's the house of Jupiter. Higher knowledge, higher education, foreigners, the higher capacities of the mind. It's the opposite of the 3rd house. The 3rd house is all about mental, being in our head, the monkey mind, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then Jupiter and the 9th house goes to the higher level, to the next level, to understanding greater understandings, to taking leaps forward, to scholarly pursuits, to higher understanding. And I feel like we could totally use that right now. I would say, you know, we can totally use this. This couldn't come at a better time. And with Juno, you know, it brings in an element of charm and grace and dignity, hopefully. And I know, you know, that's not the vibration that a lot of us are experiencing. But what I can say about it is, this is the way you could approach it. You know, you could approach, you know, if you tell somebody there, nobody's going to say, yeah, I'm a dumbass, you know. I see this in popular culture and with a lot of things, you know, and you know, people have, and I see it, I used to see it in the night that worked the fairs, you know. Even back then astrologers had to distinguish themselves from the psychics, you know. Well, I'm an astrologer, and that's based on science. What you do is like, whatever. You know, and I did it all. I knew astrology, too. I do, you know, obviously I know some astrology. But, you know, it's not taking that attitude of, you're such a dumb... Nobody's going to say, oh, yeah, you're right. I am a dumb fuck, you know. Nobody's going to say that. So telling people that they're dumb, or they're uneducated, or that they don't understand, is only that's not going to accomplish anything, okay? If you come at it with a little bit of charm and dignity and compassion and patience, then you might get somewhere. You know, then there's maybe a chance to get somewhere. You know, then there's maybe a chance for people to embrace, you know, like Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. Because this Neptune thing, boy, has this shown us. I was talking all along on Neptune, we have illusions about the past. Well, we have illusions about many things, don't we? I mean, I'm going to just touch on the election. I'm going to try not to say one side or the other. Please don't start a fight in the comments. But I've had a little time to digest that. And after that last reading, I was just completely knocked off center, you know, by everything. But how much that Neptune has come into play in so many ways. In so many ways. Starting with, you know, the illusions. Many of us had so many illusions. It just comes at us from every angle. Well, let's just take this illusions about the past. There's so much false news floating around on social media. And one of the comedians did a show, what's his name? The Last Week Tonight guy, the British dude from The Daily Show. And he showed that it's on both sides of the fence. So this isn't strictly a conservative or liberal thing. There's false news floating around on both sides of the fence. So that's Neptune. You know? So there's illusions there. Okay? Um, Many people had illusions about a lot of things, like how the election was going to turn out. Like I did. I had an illusion about that. Um, Many people had, I think we've all had illusions about how far we've come. And this is a lot about Sag, reaching out, the brotherhood of man and everything. It's Aquarius, but it's Sag too. And knowing better, doing better, but, I never knew that there was such a large segment of, people who felt the way they feel about race, about women, about race, about religious. I knew there was a small segment, and me being Caucasian in this incarnation, I'm privy to it. They'll say stuff in front of me that they might not say in mixed company, So, I know that there's a small segment, and granted, I'm sure that most of my friends are more on the liberal side, so maybe that's why I was so shocked at how many people, but I live in an urban area. I live in an area that's, I'm around real people all the time. I'll tell you what, I'm around, real people. I'm not elite in any way. I see a lot of stuff like that, and I'm not trying to judge, and I try not to judge. But the thing is, I was under the illusion that we had pretty much gotten past all that stuff. Like, this is the new paradigm, and the people who feel that way still are just a real small segment, of people living in the backwoods or somewhere, I think a lot of Americans, and I'm being sarcastic, but I think a lot of Americans felt that. We felt like, oh yeah, there's some people out there that still feel that way, but it's such a, we're the majority, and the energy of us all moving forward is gonna, or it's these older people, and they're gonna die off, the dinosaur, that kind of thing. It's the older people from the South, and they're the only ones. They're not the only ones, man. They are not the only ones. And talk about showing illusions being shattered and revealed. They sure have been. They sure have been. And with the Chiron there, so these are things that we still have to heal. There's a lot of, and I'm not, I feel it's wrong, but I'm not trying to start a fight if you feel that way. I'm really trying to get some understanding about it. I really am. And some enlightenment. And not just, I'm here to enlighten you and tell you how to live your life. Totally, dude, I am not trying to do that. And that's, as I said a few minutes ago, that's fruitless. That's not going to get anybody anywhere. Because that just makes somebody else dig their heels in even more. And to the sports thing. We got to root for my team no matter what. I'm a diehard fan. So I just, don't listen to, I don't want to know the reality of it. I'll stay in my illusions. I'll stay over here. But the Chiron, Chiron's in Pisces here, we got to heal those illusions. We got to heal that. There's some deep healing. And where did this come from even? Where does this hatred and everything come from? That obviously comes from some place that needs healing. Whoever you're directing hatred towards, That's something that needs, this is a deep, deep wound. This wound is a gaping chasm of a wound. We thought we had it pretty much all zipped up and we're ready to move into the future. Well, guess again. Guess again. But the way to go about it, and I've lashed out. I had some angry moments. I got triggered. I let people push my buttons. I have. I'll admit to it. And, I was saying leading up to this, I'm not aggressive anymore. What do you mean? Well, some of those old buttons definitely got pushed, I'll tell you. So I guess the ask and you shall receive. The universe sure showed me that I have issues about that. And as a nation, and as a world, and as a society, we have issues. We got some major issues, people. We got to work on this stuff. There's some major healing to be done here, big time, right? So yeah, that's what's been shown, and there's all these other illusions. I had a whole list. I should have wrote them down. I was thinking about it in the shower, and I go, oh, I'll remember, But then Neptune is Neptune's also the fog. It comes and goes, and have to grab it while it's there. Oh, I want to get into a little bit about this Uranus stuff too, because this we want the old way, and there's, you know, we want to go, and both candidates were, you know, older, you know, they're the same age, you know, they're both in their third act, you know, they both had their second Saturn return, and they're in their third act. So they both come from ties to the past and ties to, a lot of people didn't like that, you know. But this new thing, so many times the Pluto and Capricorn and the Saturn energy, you know, this Capricorn Saturn, this is wanting to stop progress, you know, make things as they were, stop everything. And, you know, I'm just over that. I'm sorry. You know, for how many years did they try to block stem cell research? Because of this old paradigm belief, you know. And now we know that stem cell research is freaking awesome, man, you know. They've been trying to block it forever. Now they say, you know, luckily I saved my kids' baby teeth. I know this is kind of off topic, but now they're saying, you know, maybe save your baby teeth because it's a great, you know, source of stem cell. You know, we could have been saving our baby teeth. And it's like, oh no, it was all this scare tactics about fetuses and, oh, you know, and please, I don't want to start a fight, but we know now, you know, when you know better, you do better. Ninth house. When you, and the climate change deniers too, you know, let's stop no, this is, the old way is right. Well, this Uranus stuff here, Ceres is there, and that other planet that's disruptive, that the woman, is it Eris or somebody? I forget, but she's kind of like a Lilith, you know, she's kind of like a badass woman, but she wants to cause chaos and destruction and war. Oh, Mars's sister, that's who she is. And they used to go out on killing sprees together. So you got this angry energy, conjunct Uranus, we want our freedom, fighting, and this is what we've been going on for years with the Pluto-Uranus square. Fighting against the Saturn, Pluto, and Capricorn energy of, no, we want to stop everything, we want to halt everything, we want to keep it the way it is. So instead of maybe using this Aries and that crazy bitch, whatever, I'm sorry. You know, that Mars's sister energy to go on killing sprees, and I'm not laughing about killing sprees at all, please. I'm talking about through mythology, but that kind of energy, you know, people are just like up in arms, and you know, well, for instance, I heard that Google and maybe it was Yahoo are going to try to make, or Facebook, make an effort to stop the fake news, you know. And I saw this great meme, because this is the youth. This is the youth gone wild. So that's the Aries, and the crazy bitch energy is the youth gone wild, and this is, you know, the powers that be, the established powers and whatnot. But I saw this great meme. It said it's something like, in 1996, my parents were warning me not to go on the internet because stranger danger, or whatever, that was going to get, you know, child pornography or something. And then now my parents are saying, yeah, I saw on blah blah blah.com that Hillary invented HIV, you know. So it's this fear of not having all the facts straight, because there's so much fun, and it's not saying, oh, you're so stupid that you believe that, because again, it's on both sides of the fence, all right. It's saying, well, let's clear out all the fake crap, and then we can, we can know better, we can do better, we can learn what's really happened in the past too, because there were so many lies about the past on both sides too. Lies and deceptions has been the, I know I'm talking about the American election, a lot of you are not in America, but this is just something that's in the forefront in my face all the time here lately, and I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to maybe understand it, you know, through some astrology. But anyways, you know, I kind of lost track again what I was saying. The other thing that's going on now, we've got Mars in Aquarius. So there's again this. So Uranus is in Aries and Mars is in Aquarius. There's a mutual reception going on, because Uranus is ruler of Aquarius and Mars is ruler of Aries. So they're in each other's space or whatever. It's called a mutual reception. So this is going on. So this is rebellion. This is big time rebellion, you know. This is the rebellion from the status quo. Oh, the other thing about the lies and deceptions, well, you know, one person won the popular vote by a large margin. But by clinging to the old thing that's totally outmoded, the other person ends up winning the election. And people are calling out about hacking, and I mean, that could be. That did cross my mind, but I don't want to be like a conspiracy theorist either, because some of those things are just way off in left field, you know, some of these conspiracy stuff. But I mean, it was on CNN, and I know some people think CNN's false. I'm not, but it's more reputable than a lot of things, you know. But anyways, that there's analysis shows that there was a marked difference in the election poll places that were all electronic rather than the scanning machines, you know, where you mark the little things, because those can't be manipulated because they're not in a network. Those can't be hacked. And my polling station did, like the old-time tests where you fill in multiple choice, you know, fill in the dots. But they did a study about that versus the ones that were electronic and potentially could be hacked. And there's this big marked difference in the overall thing. And the other thing about the illusions too were the polls. You know, you know what? I always thought those polls were bullshit. I've never taken a poll, nor has anybody else I've ever known responded to a poll. I always thought those polls were not accurate, but I mean, they have held up with some accuracy, and those were way off. That was another big illusion that happened. So there's potential that maybe it could be hacked, could have been hacked. I'm not going to swear, I'm not screaming from the rooftops that's what happened, okay? But potentially that could happen. And with Mars and Aquarius, because Aquarius is computers and electronic media and the internet and all that stuff, Uranus. Well, ninth house can be the internet too. It's broadcasting and stuff too, I think. Has something. Originally, ninth house was considered the internet when it first came out, but you know, now I identify the internet more with Uranus and Aquarius energy. But whatever, it's all connected. With Mars, it's like, well, we want to see, we want to recount, we want to see, we want to, you know, computer experts to go in there and take a look somehow or something, because you know, I'm not a computer expert. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm saying with all the illusions that surrounded everything, who the hell knows? Okay, so this is squaring. This new moon is squaring the Neptune. I didn't even catch that. I just wanted to talk about it. But yeah, this new moon is squaring the south node in the Neptune. So this is going to end the north node too. It's being accurate. Well, then let's look at this. So then going forward with the north node, right? We got to be more Virgo-like. We got to pay attention to those every little details. We got to count and recount and make sure that, you know, it's not hacked, you know, and blah, blah, blah. Go over it with the fine-tooth comb. That's all the realm of Virgo. And Virgo totally wants to have all the facts. You know, Virgo wants to know every little detail about every little thing. They want to know the facts. They want to know that, not be caught in fantasy and not in reality. They want to be in reality and know exactly what the freak is going on here. Okay, so that's that. That squares the sun and moon. Uranus trine Mercury. Well, that's the mental things, you know. Because isn't Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, I believe. And where is that Mercury hiding at? Here's Uranus. Oh yeah, over here, conjunct Saturn. Mercury is conjunct Saturn up here on the top. I kind of like this because I can blow it up. That's what I do if I do your chart reading and I actually draw on it. Maybe next time I'll even bring it into the art program and draw on it. But then it gets really messy because there's lines everywhere. So Mercury conjunct, oh, it's at 25. It's an 8-degree orbit, but it's pretty close in there. And then that would put, Uranus is also trining, yeah, Saturn. Uranus trines Saturn. Completely opposite energies. I was just talking about this in somebody's reading. You know, Saturn again is the old way. It's the, you know, the structure and the foundation, and Uranus is, it's everywhere. It's electric. It's moving around. It's movement. It's lightning bolts. It's, you know, it's digital media. You know, you used to think of it as television signals flying through the air. You know, it's outer space. You know, so Uranus is out in outer space, and Saturn's got their feet on the ground in a block of cement. So completely different energy. Saturn's a lot lighter here with in the sign of Sagittarius, though. But it's in trine. It's in trine, so there's a harmony. And then Juno being in with the new moon, there could be some harmony. There could be some harmony happening, Pluto square Jupiter, that's this long-standing thing. And then the nodes square the ascendant. Venus trine Jupiter. No, Mars trine Jupiter. Venus square Jupiter and Pluto square Jupiter. Venus conjunct Pluto. Now that can go a few different ways. It's in the sign of Capricorn. So hopefully with Venus being there, again, it would bring, just like the Juno energy, it would bring a little bit more charm and grace to any conflicts, Maybe there could be a way to work through it. And with Saturn, Jupiter involved in Libra, that comes in too. Jupiter in Libra is telling Pluto and Capricorn, look, you can't just tell people what to do and be a prick, basically, You gotta have some charm, some grace. You gotta listen to both sides. Don't just bark out, well, you're stupid, listen, here, da, da, da. Say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but da, 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 be gentle. Gotta be gentle. Being harsh isn't getting us anywhere, okay? It's just getting us into more and more conflict with each other and stirring up more and more stuff. And it's triggered from, again, other deep wounds from the past. Well, deep wounds in the past in America, how about slavery? Talk about it. You can look at it on a broader perspective, too, not just on... But I feel like it's on... and look at, women couldn't vote and were considered property as well, So there's those kind of deep wounds as a nation, but there's these deep wounds within us personally and collectively, and we got a long way to go. This was a wake up to show us that we have further to go than we actually thought. For those of us that thought we really turned a corner and we're in the new age, and everything's we're doing away with that, and we're going to become part of the galactic community, with all the Uranus and energy. Well, guess again. There's a lot more healing to do, and some people don't want to move forward. Way more people than, certainly more people than I thought, don't want to move forward. Want to stay in the old paradigm, are resistant to change, are resistant to moving forward. And the ninth house, this is showing us, and Saturn being there too, because Saturn is all about the old paradigm. It's the ruler of Capricorn. This represents that old paradigm right here, Saturn, the patriarchy. It's traveling through Sag, shows us that more education is needed. Education is the answer. And it's not trying to shove your opinion down somebody's throat and calling them stupid. That's not going to do it, Gentle persuasion. It's joining or sextiling Jupiter too. So this Jupiter in Libra, this is, it's all divine. It's divine timing. Jupiter's in Libra to teach us some grace, dignity, fairness. You have to concede some of the time. There's certain things you're never 100% right. There's false news on both sides of the fence, It's not just, oh, these dumbasses who are listening to this and this don't know what they're talking about. There's false liberal news and false conservative news. It's on both sides, okay? So instead of just, you're the dumb one, you don't know what you're talking about, pointing that finger, that's getting us nowhere. We got to try, first of all, I like the idea of getting rid of the fake news. And then, reasoning. Whatever happened to debate and having a reasonable conversation? Being able to reason with somebody. It's the sports mentality too, I'm telling you. People who are avid sports fans are the people that will not listen to anything. No, I'm a diehard fan, and that's that, and that's this, So, politics are not sports, are not politics, and also, there's a separation of church and state. That was right in the very beginning. That's an old paradigm rule that we need to keep, okay? Your religion should be on one side of the fence, and your politics another. Anyways, so let me know what you guys think about this new setup that I'm doing here. If you like it, maybe I'll stick with it. Have a great new moon. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. I'll speak to you soon.